for us, it's a large piece would come from the liquidity side of things, because I think right now, so essentially the solution that we've created allows for essentially the benefits of Uniswap V2 and V3's liquidity provision. So having concentrated liquidity and kind of wide-ranging liquidity. And we've kind of taken that forward and kind of removed the friction that you have in those ecosystems where you're able to move the liquidity dynamically without necessarily exiting a position. And so it allows for more efficient capital allocation. It allows you to mitigate impermanent loss. And I think with reactive smart contracts, it would help us accelerate those innovations even further. So you can, use, if we're talking about, staking rewards or collateral requirements in lending, then, reactive smart contracts could adjust those on the fly based on real-time market conditions. And this will just kind of push forward our vision to have a more dynamic and frankly, constantly optimized DeFi ecosystem, because there's a lot of wasted liquidity in crypto right now where, liquidity providers provide liquidity for a certain tranche of trading, and, the price moves very rapidly. And so then they have to pull out of that, and then it creates a lot of inefficient transaction routing, which then for the end user creates a lot of slippage, and everybody's just wasting money left and right. And so I think for Burve, it's being able to offer liquidity providers, better returns by allowing them to have automated strategies around liquidity provision that reacts to external data points, and also looking at things like interest rate changes or volatility metrics or even asset prices themselves, and having the liquidity kind of follow those trends where they're going, so that the end user is able to benefit from a more seamless transaction and asset trade. And I think from the other side, in terms of real-time data, we don't use a lot of that beyond just the token price for the tokens that are launched on our platform. But I think looking forward, it'll kind of, give Chainlink a run for their money, or even help Chainlink be better at what they do in terms of responding to live price movements, or connecting just different data sources together, so that you have less of this advantage if you're trading on a centralized exchange versus a decentralized exchange, simply because of the lack of liquidity in the former rather than in the latter rather than the former. I think it also, for us, maybe in the future, once we're a little bit more mature, is using reactive smart contracts to react to events on other blockchains, perhaps ones that we don't necessarily support, but we can still benefit from that potential information, or enabling us to offer kind of cross-chain liquidity solutions. So, we can have Burve interact with assets from Ethereum, Solana, and Polygon based on specific triggers, or we can, inject liquidity into those assets, or into those ecosystems, and then give people, again, another way to make it a better trading experience. And then on the liquidity side, allowing liquidity providers to allocate their capital as efficiently as possible.